Hey, it's been a little while since I've done a Long-Term Millionaire video. It's January, and my guess is that you spent the holidays and the end of the year thinking about all the ways that you're going to make your year better this year from a business standpoint. How are you going to grow sales? What problems are you going to fix? Where are you going to look to find employees? And then you've been thinking about all this stuff that as an owner or an individual within the company, how are you going to be better? What are you going to do different? What are the priorities? I'm going to guess that's what you've been doing. That's what I've done. That's what most people do. And so you came up with this list of all these really important things you've got to do, and it's the 12th. And my question is, how many of those things have you absolutely put your head down and focused on versus one distraction after another, one thing after another coming up over the weekend, one thing after another in the evenings after work? Like, how many things have you been distracted by? How many little fires have taken away from working on the things that will move the company forward the fastest? And that is an unbelievably big challenge, and I think for many of us that are entrepreneurs, it's like one of the hardest things. So my ask is that you go back to your list and you think, what are the things that will have the absolute biggest impact on this calendar year? Like the most important things I could possibly be working on. And you work on those things every single day. And almost everything else that's coming in is noise. And as best you can, you block it out. And maybe what that means is every day you get up and for the first 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours of your day, you work like a dog on only those activities. You don't check your email, you don't look at your text messages, you only work on your number one most important thing. And so think about this as well. You've got this list, and let's just get your list down to what are the 3 things. If you could only accomplish 3 big things this year, if you were to look back at the year and like, man, I got those 3 things done. Not only did I get them done, they're implemented and they're working. And if those 3 things, like what are those 3 things that would have the biggest impact on this year? Okay, so then you take the one that has the single biggest impact, and you also consider when they need to be done throughout the calendar year. Whichever one needs to get done the soonest and has the biggest impact, you do that now. And every day that's the only one you work on. You don't work on the other 2. You work on that one thing. Every day you give time to it. Every Saturday you work on it. Every evening after your family goes to bed, you work on it and you knock this thing out. You get it done. And then if there's team members that can help you, if it's truly the most important thing, if it's like company changing, business changing, change your life kind of thing, you get your team aligned on this one thing. You work on that. And then when it's done, you move on to number 2. But if you're anything like me, tomorrow or later today, you're going to get a text message and you're going to get an email, and then somebody's going to tell you about a client that's not thrilled right now, and then you're going to hear about this other cool opportunity that you read in Inc. magazine, or you're listening to a podcast in the truck on the way home that gave you another new idea that's now the new most important thing that you should be doing. Can't do any of that junk. You got to set, you decided in December, these are the most important things. Okay, you made that decision, now you got to go work those things. Later, you can get distracted by a podcast and an email and a text message and a fire, but not right now. Because if you don't do it the way I'm describing, this year will be pretty much like last year. Next year will be pretty much like the last 2 years. I guarantee it. That's the entrepreneurial problem. That's the problem that most of us, the way we're wired and the way our brains work, that's the problem most of us have. The winners are the ones that say, this is what's most important. I'm going to work them one at a time until they're done, and I'm going to work like a dog. So I'm not going to work 4 hours a week. I'm going to work like a dog. I'm going to knock these things out. I'm going to work in the morning. I'm going to work in the evening. I'm going to work on Saturdays. But when I get them done, they're life-changing. They transform companies. Those are the guys that build big companies. So I'd encourage you to do that. That's what I'm doing. Good luck.